Okay, let's talk about sport funding and let's talk about club funding on this video right here. So we do have funding available for all the clubs, and we'll go through this, and this video will help describe what that is, okay? UREC funding, the sports club is financially through the Raider Power Board and annual funding requests. Other sports club funding opportunities, we'll kind of go through those as we go through this video right here, okay? This is the Raider Power Board. It's an accountability and activity point system. And your club can earn points. The more points you earn, the more dollars you get going into next year's school year, right? So we earn points for the following categories: making sure that your paperwork is in on time, making sure that you have all the paperwork you need, and make sure that it's accurate. As we do officer trainings, we do a number of officer trainings through the year. Attendance at those trainings will also get you Power Board points. Making sure that your travel is done well, making sure that you follow through on travel, in particular, making sure that you have your forms submitted on time and accurately. Community service, of course, we push community service events, and the more service events that you do, the more points you get at the end. Being a great club member and having your club be part of the one team mentality that we have here at Texas Tech. So if you attend other club events, you'll be able to get more points. And of course, if you're disciplined or anything happens in that area, you'll get negative points. But the points lead to more dollars in your allocation for the next school year, okay? So you can also do an annual funding request. We ask that each sport club submit a budget request as part of the end of the semester report in the spring. Allocation should not be more than 10 to 20% of any sport club's total operating budget. And the university, our end, when we give you dollars through our allocation, is meant to be supplementary. Okay, so if your annual operating budget is about $10,000, as an example, you want to request $2,000. Okay. We also have a unique thing where we have a separate budget where we do excellence and development funding. And what we do here is, if you're not a probationary club, so if you're beyond 1 year as a sport club, you can apply twice, once in the fall and once in the spring, for excellence funding, which would reward clubs. If you're going to go have an opportunity to be at a regional or national event. And then, of course, the developmental funding is given to clubs starting a new initiative, a special community service event, something like that. Okay? Now, when we give dollars to your club, they can be used, obviously, for non-personal club supplies and equipment. That would be balls. Sometimes we bought nets. We've bought birdies for the badminton club. Anything that's non-personal equipment. Any kind of travel costs, gas, lodging, rented cars, commercial transportation. Okay, any kind of tournament entry fees or league dues may be used for that. You cannot use UREC funding allocation for personal equipment or uniforms, for obviously recreational travel, reimbursing to external accounts, that is not allowed. And of course, you can't spend it on any kind of vices like alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. The key for all this stuff is to make sure that you're actively fundraising so that your club can offset some of the costs to your individual members, okay? So we are doing our best to encourage all of you and all the clubs to fundraise as much as possible. There are different fundraisers. This past year, we did an officer training a session on fundraising, okay? It's important. There can be no fundraisers or sponsorships can be associated with alcohol or tobacco products, any illegal substances, any activities in groups, and discriminatory in nature, all right? And all potential sponsorships have to be pre-approved by the sports program office. So, you can't use Caesar Sportsbook to be a sponsor of your team, okay? So to recap, Raider Power Board equals points, points equal dollars for the next school year, okay? We have funding requests that you put in at the end of the spring semester. In your spring report, you want a fund request for the next school year. We have excellence in development funding, which is a separate form which your club can submit when you're off of a probationary period to help supplement costs to travel to regionals or nationals, or to have some kind of initiative that your club wants to get off the ground. We highly advocate that you fundraise as much as possible, and if you can find sponsorships and they're approved by our sports office, that would help too. Okay. As usual, any questions, you can come up to room 203, which would be the preferable way to do it, or you can contact us at these numbers and we will get back to you as soon as possible. But the big thing is, if you have a huge question about funding, and if you have a huge question about anything relative to dollars or budgets, please come see us in person in room 203.